Okay, so I got wondering, a couple videos ago, I paired this JoyCon with my computer, and you can see it's still blinking, and that's what it does. It just keeps blinking, that's normal. But everything I read before I did it said you can only do one. But I found something odd about that. We go to Bluetooth. And there we go. So you'll see it says JoyCon L, which I would guess is left, is connected. So let's pull out the other JoyCon here. And go to add Bluetooth. Same old, same old. Let's hold down the button until it starts blinking. JoyCon R. Okie doke. I think that's something. So let's click on that. Setting up device. Let's go to done. Okay, we got left and right here. So now I understand they're not paired together. See if I can get this in here. There we go. There we go. That's interesting. What did I do there? Well, something controlled the screen for a second. Oh yeah, look at that. But that's not what we're doing. Alright, so now that I got both those in there, and you can see they're both blinking as if they're searching, but everything I read said that is normal. So let's get out of here, and let's map it and see if we can map it. Okay, so let's go to Input. Let's go to Setup. Let's mute that real quick. There we go. Alright, so I think I'm just going to clear everything. Make sure nothing has any settings in here. Alright, and obviously I'm not going to map all the buttons, but I want to map just enough here to see if it'll work. So let's see, going up, left, right, down, select, which is still on the left JoyCon, start, we're going to go to the right JoyCon, has not yelled at me yet for that, B will be B on the right, A will be A on the right, and then the above keys will be its corresponding turbos. Let's hit OK. No errors. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can play a little bit here. I'm going to turn the camera a bit here. Hopefully I hit it right. As you can see, this is a tad bit difficult for me and a hair painful even. So one of the things I didn't realize was I mute my speaker, which is also my microphone, when I play, because otherwise the sound from the game goes back in the speaker and it creates a weird echo, and it's just kind of annoying. And in post, I'm just not good enough to get that sound correct itself. So I'm kind of going to go over it here. So you'll notice it's firing like crazy. It's going really fast. I am not hitting the button that quick. I don't think I'm capable of doing it. This is the turbo button. I normally don't use turbo in games, except for Metroid when I was a kid, but that was for dropping bombs and blowing myself in an upward direction, which maybe I'll film that scene someday. But yeah, so it was awesome on here. As you notice, I have a little bit of an issue with my right hand. It's a little bit immobilized. It hurts to use it, and having that little bit of a handicap, it was nice to have the turbo button. It kind of made up for it, and I will admit I will definitely be using that turbo maybe in a couple other games, Metal Slug possibly, but yeah, the JoyCon worked fantastically. I did not feel any lag, or that, or maybe my other setups just had so much lag in them that I couldn't tell. But yeah, it was awesome. Now I'll let the system jump back to the normal audio. Yeah, so with all that said, this worked fantastically. You can see it searching for the controllers, but it is connected. I mean, these aren't paired. The computer's seeing both of them as individuals, which doesn't seem to matter because it doesn't care. I mean, you could use a key off the keyboard. You could use another controller. You're just binding the key with that spot in the controller. The other nice thing too is if you carried a couple of these around with your computer or something, you could. I mean, you have two-player controls. I mean, it's not like other devices where I used it and you're like, what's player one, what's player two? All right, let's set it up. This just worked. This was fantastic. I'm very, very excited about that. This really opens up things because the battery life is actually pretty good in the JoyCons, at least in my opinion. If I can get a Wii Pro controller, the battery life, and those are amazing, and I gotta imagine that sets up just as nicely. But I do like that this is kind of portable and I could split it into two, and then, you know, you could do two players, just remap it like an NES style or Super Nintendo style. I mean, I have the bumpers that slide on here too. But yeah, this is great. I like this. You know, it's gonna beat this. I can't play for very long with this arm, but I mean, I do get sore, but it beats this. This was good, but it wasn't quite there. I was doing replicators with the NES controllers, and they were either on or I was having some issues. It was bad. Then there's also the Hori controllers. This thing is not that good of a controller for the PS4. It's just set up weird. But when it comes to emulation, like Raspberry Pi or hooking my Retro 2 to my computer so I can actually play my carts on my computer, this thing is fantastic, and its build quality is amazing. And it's got more buttons than I'll ever use. I tend to play older school games. I mean, maybe the oldest I get on PC is I'll throw a PS1 game in, but I mean, this has everything. Otherwise, this is going to be my traveling one. I mean, I travel with my Switch anyways, and I have 4 of these, and I have the charging base, so I mean, I have everything I need, but this is great. I mean, I either have a full-fledged controller or I have a 2-player controller if I wanted to split it up and play a game with someone. I know I've been doing a lot of controller videos lately, but I don't think you can do too many of them. There's so many choices out there, and, you know, if the right person sees it, fantastic. If it's not something someone's interested in, well, you know, you should watch it anyways. But otherwise, thanks. Hope you enjoyed it.